talk about you and one of your ventures away from soccer. You're a children's book author, which I don't know if a lot of Timber supporters know that. It's really cool. It Had to Be Told Publishing is the name of your books. You guys do sports books for kids. Where did this idea come from, and now at this point, how successful has it been for you?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a huge sports fan. I think a lot of people know that about me, and I always thought it would be pretty cool to share that with my kids. And when I had a daughter, it was just something that, you know, it wasn't out there. So I kind of took it on myself to write nursery rhyme stories about some of the best events that I thought over the last couple years. And luckily, when I thought of the idea, New England won the Super Bowl in a crazy way, LeBron won a championship, and the Cubs won. So it was like perfect timing, almost a perfect storm. And you know, fortunately, last month we took silver in an award for an independent publishing company. So it's a slow and steady grind, but so far the response has been pretty good.
We can see very clearly a lot of talent here. It's very attractive. But for you, what sort of validation did you get? How much validation did you need to understand that this would be something that would take?
Yeah, well, you know, I thought it was cool, right? Yeah. So and my family thought it was cool, so that's why we started it. But you know, once we took silver and once we were nominated for those couple awards, it really validated what we were doing and that other people thought it was something pretty cool as well. My question is, how do you have time? When do you write these books? Yeah, so with the first 4 books, a lot of the writing went down in preseason. The family, I had just moved out to Portland and I was living at the hotel. So, you know, a lot of downtime during preseason, especially when we were hosting the tournament. So wrote a lot of the first 4 books during that preseason, and then our newest book, Alabama, that we're going to publish here in the next couple months or so, wrote that this past off season. So you find time, little pockets here and there.
Yeah, what are we doing with our lives?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
When you look at the process of it, can you take us through the process from the moment you get the idea of a story to do to the final part where it's actually coming into our hands to read? Yeah, so you know, there's a lot of great stories and a lot of big sports ideas out there that I could write about. So, you know, me and my father-in-law, we kind of brainstorm and think about, you know, what markets would be the best to approach and kind of the best stories that we could tell that get the whole picture. You know, with the Cubs, it was the curse of the GOAT, and that's something that's pretty fun for kids as well. And, you know, it's just talking about the whole saga. And with the Cleveland book, you know, it was LeBron leaving, coming back, winning it for a city that isn't used to winning. And it's just, you know, some stories stick out more than others when you're really thinking about great stories for kids to learn about. So we break those down and kind of both throw out ideas, and then we'll get back and meet and kind of find which ones we think would make the best stories to write about. Do you get people coming up to you on the street, or whether some of your friends saying, "Hey, Jeff, I've got a great idea for a story"?
Yeah, Zarek definitely wants me to write one about the Eagles, and it would be a great one. You know, maybe if the 76ers can pull it off, then it might Philadelphia might get their own.
Villanova, the Eagles,
yeah,
the Sixers.
exactly.
It can be your sequel to the Patriots book.
Yeah,
but then the next Super Bowl, the Patriots. It sounds like you've learned a lot about business through this. What have been kind of the biggest lessons, and what did you have to learn about running and starting a business?
Yeah, so it's been pretty interesting because it's not something that I was ever used to before. But as I said, my father-in-law, he's an entrepreneur and he's started a couple of successful businesses. So just to be kind of on the email chain and follow his flow of from idea to product to selling it's been a fun adventure for me because it's not something that I was ever used to before. You know, in college I got my degree in communications, which works out if you're writing books and talking a lot on TV.
Timbers and 30,
right? Yeah, exactly. So I guess it made sense in the long run.
You're backing that up right now.
Yeah, exactly. USF would be proud. But no, so you know, just to be a part of it from idea, product, selling, trying to get media research, trying to do the marketing and all that. It's just been a pretty fun adventure for me because, you know, if down the road I think of another idea or if I get approached with a business opportunity, it's something that I feel like I have a little bit of experience on. But, you know, for an athlete, a lot of the stuff that we do, you get instant response, right? So if I have a good game, you guys are probably telling me about it in the post game. If I have a bad game, I could probably check Twitter and everyone will let me know, right? So you generally know how you're doing right away. And with this, it's a little more sit and wait. You really love what you're doing, but you hope that the response is just as good as, you know, kind of what you feel about it.
It's interesting when you look at your soccer career, and your wife, I know, is so supportive of you, but now it's more or less going both ways with the children's book because she's such a big part of the book and producing it with the editing and everything. So it's a bit of bigging each other up at times with the project that you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's marriage, right? So if one person's down, the other person's got to be up because you got to find that balance. But no, you know, my wife, she watches our daughter in the mornings while I'm at practice and answers emails as she can. And when I get home from practice, she's working on the books, and then I'm watching our daughter. So, you know, we try to have a good balance, but it's been fun. You know, it's a fun little family adventure, and she's done a great job editing the books, and it's so far so good.
Finally, I'll ask, how can people get the books, and kind of what's next for It Had to Be Told Publishing?
Yeah, so all of our books are on Amazon. We got them on Amazon Prime. So you know, if you feel the need for a book, if you feel the need for a book in 48 hours, we got you covered.
Daddy, I need a new story.
Yeah, exactly. And we're actually talking with Safeway now around the general Portland area. So hopefully the books will be in there soon. So if you happen to see It Had to Be Told display shelf and feel like picking up a good children's book, then by all means, please do.
Very cool. I have a 2-year-old nephew from Chicago. We're getting that Cubs book.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good.
Thanks for coming on and chatting with us.
Thanks, guys.